At just 36 years old, Hayden Panettiere's life came to a heartbreaking end. But behind the headlines was a career that had already begun before she was even old enough to understand what acting was. Hayden started appearing in commercials at just 11 months old, and by the time she was 5, she had already appeared in more than 50 commercials. She eventually moved into television, becoming a regular on soap operas including One Life to Live and Guiding Light. But what many fans don't realize is just how early her Hollywood journey really began. She wasn't simply a child actor who became famous overnight. She spent years building her career before audiences around the world even knew her name. One of her early memorable roles came in 1998 when she voiced Dot in Pixar's A Bug's Life. She was so young that she even received a Grammy nomination for the film's read-along album. Then came Remember the Titans in 2000. Hayden played young Cheryl Yost alongside Denzel Washington, and her performance earned her a Young Artist Award nomination and ultimately a win. She continued appearing in films including Raising Helen, Racing Stripes, Ice Princess, and Bring It On, All or Nothing. But then, in 2006, everything changed. Hayden was cast as Claire Bennet in NBC's Heroes. Her character was a cheerleader with an extraordinary ability. She could regenerate after being injured. The show's famous question, "Save the cheerleader, save the world," helped turn Hayden into a global star. She was only 17 when Heroes premiered, yet her performance became one of the defining parts of the series. She won a Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actress on Television in 2007 and received additional recognition during the show's run. But Hayden wasn't interested in being remembered for just one role. In 2009, she appeared in I Love You, Beth Cooper, and in 2011, she entered another major franchise as Kirby Reed in Scream 4. Years later, fans were thrilled when Kirby returned in Scream 6 in 2023. Then came perhaps the most demanding role of her career. In 2012, Hayden became Juliette Barnes on Nashville. Juliette was a hugely talented country singer whose life was filled with fame, relationships, addiction, and emotional struggles. What made the role especially powerful was how much Hayden's own real-life experiences eventually seemed to echo aspects of the character. Her performance earned her 2 Golden Globe nominations for Best Supporting Actress. And Hayden wasn't just acting on Nashville. She also sang for the series, including the song Undermine, which became associated with her character and charted on Billboard. But away from cameras, Hayden was fighting battles that fans couldn't always see. She later spoke openly about alcohol and opioid addiction, postpartum depression, and the enormous pressure of growing up in the entertainment industry. Her 2026 memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, explored many of those experiences, including addiction, trauma, motherhood, and the death of her younger brother, Jansen Panettiere, in 2023. There was also another side of Hayden that many casual fans may not remember. She became an environmental activist and was prominently featured in the Oscar-winning documentary The Cove, which focused on dolphin hunting. She received the Weiler Award at the Environmental Media Awards in 2008 and later an EMA Futures Award in 2013. So her legacy wasn't limited to acting. She used her public platform to speak about issues she cared deeply about. And despite everything she went through, Hayden continued trying to rebuild her life and career. In 2026, she published her memoir and was still talking publicly about her experiences, her mental health, and her hopes for the future. Then on August 16, 2026, Hayden Panettiere was found unresponsive in Greenville, South Carolina, and was pronounced dead at the scene at age 36. Authorities have said there were no signs of foul play, but the cause of death remains under investigation. Her father, Skip Panettiere, remembered her as an incredible light and a force of nature who brought love and joy to millions who watched her on screen. And perhaps that's how Hayden shall ultimately be remembered. Not only as Claire Bennet, not only as Juliette Barnes, not only as Kirby Reed, but as someone who started working before she could even understand fame, became a major television star while still a teenager, earned awards and major nominations, sang professionally, advocated for causes she believed in, and openly confronted some incredibly difficult chapters of her life. Hayden Panettiere lived a complicated life in the public eye, but behind every headline was a person trying to find her way through it. And her story reminds us that sometimes the people who look strongest on screen are fighting battles the audience never gets to see.